tell you that I have noticed increasingly as women are gaining financial independence, they are becoming more materialistic in a way that was never natural for the feminine. The feminine was never about hoarding, was never about uh, covering yourself with things that you don't need. The feminine quality was always about giving to others, taking care of others' needs. And when women would come in the possession of some sort of finances, it was so natural for her to do it, to give it away as seva. So here again, I would request that we go a little deeper into this whole idea of women spending so much money on keeping up an idea of what makes them beautiful or acceptable. The whole narrative of self-indulgence is extremely harmful, not just for the woman, but for society as whole. See, earlier women had this, when they would become mothers, there was a natural attachment to the child. And in that process of motherhood, she developed a natural vairagya towards all things material, because it opened up certain dimensions in her that were not existent, and she just became a mother to all. Even today, in our traditional languages, they still refer to women who have become a mother, even though they are very young, they call them Mataji or they call them Amma. Because that dimension was appreciated, and it just, those qualities enhanced her beauty from within. In our tradition, how do we understand beauty? Beauty was always associated with what is reflected from within. We called it Aishwaryam. When we would see someone who was the dharmic way of good looking, we would say, oh, what an Aishwaryam in her face. What tejas in his eyes. That's what we refer to as beauty. It had nothing to do with the external, and everything to do with the inner quality of prana and how that reflected, that glow reflected in your face. So now we've gone so far away from that, and we become so obsessed with, again, non-Indic perceptions of beauty that I don't know where to start this conversation. And we are assuming that some things are fine. Okay, it's all right for women to spend on these products, but pink tax, well, let's question just that. I think we have to dig a lot more deeper. What exactly is beauty? What exactly is appealing? We have to start from that. You know, the clothing that we developed in India, there's so much science to that. You know why we wear the sari as we do, why the dhoti was worn as it was as a traditional attire, why was it done that way? And traditionally, both men and women wore the lower part of the garment the same way, the panchakacham style. It was like a dhoti for women also. This form of a sari is because of the Victorian influence. This is not how the sari was originally worn, the lower part at least. But even today, when we go to South Indian temples, for example, they insist that women should wear a sari and men should wear only the lower garment, and upper is just the uttariyam. It's just a piece of cloth, unstitched cloth. Why? The way the sari and the dhoti is tied, it goes in sync with the flow of prana, both in the lower half of your body and upper half. And you always expose the navel region because there are marma points in that region from where there are nadis that originate and carry prana to all parts of your body. So when you expose the navel region to the solar energy, and when you go to a temple, when you receive prana from there, the best point to receive it is the navel. And that is why our traditional garments expose that region. And that is the only region that you need to keep open to receive both the sun's energy, your solar plexus is in that region, and the prana from temples. And our garments were designed in such a way because for us, beauty meant that your inner workings, your sukshma sharira, there's prana flowing in all your organs. You're well nourished with that. There is a natural glow in your face because of that. You're healthy because of that. And how do you facilitate that? And that inner health, when that reflects in your face, we call that beauty. Even kajal was not for cosmetic purposes. The way it was prepared and it was worn under the eye, that was to reduce keep pitta in check. there is a form of pitta that operates in the region of the eye, and because we are a country that tends to get very hot, applying kajal will keep that pitta cool. Henna was also for the same purpose. It has a cooling property. So even our ideas of beauty were never just for the heck of it. It was so rooted in our biological basis. And we need to somewhere go back to that. I've done some work with women who are victims of acid violence. And that completely transformed my idea of beauty itself. Because these were women, for no fault of their own, had acid thrown on their face and completely disfigured. Their ear was melted, their nose was melted. And there was one particular woman, when we asked her how we can help her, her simple reply was that when she wants to board a bus, the conductor does not stop because people get afraid looking at her. How do we create a society where she can live? Don't each of us have a responsibility to project ourselves without makeup, without these external enhancements, so that those who might be disfigured, those who might have problems, will not have so much difficulty being accepted in society? That was almost a turning point for me to decide not to use makeup and not to focus so much on external beauty, to make it easier for women to live. We've set such horribly artificial standards of beauty. It's affecting every one of us. It's affecting the men, it's affecting the women. It's not real. So dig deeper. Don't just limit it to the question of this tax and that. That framework on which this rests itself needs to be thought about again. Right? I don't think I've given you the answer you were looking for, but I'm incapable of that, I realize.